wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
The current working theory I have is that way too slowly, but inevitably surely, the internet has allowed people to see lies, deceit, whatever, fraud that we couldn't have seen before. I was kind of surprised with alternative media, say like Rush Limbaugh or Fox News. If you guys are old enough to remember that would have woken some people up, and it did. But I thought, at least on paper, well, the internet's really going to wake people up. And just as glacially slow as it was to get corporations to realize that, hey, you don't need those expensive commercial leases or office space leases, you could have people work from home. And not only as glacially slow, but as tooth pulling as that was to get the old guard to give it the fuck up and stop forcing people to commute to this day, it was equally glacially and tooth pullingly slow to watch the general US population wake the fuck up and realize who was really lying to them, how they've been lied to, and why their lives essentially didn't turn out the way they were promised. Now, I don't know if it's through benefit of being cynical or poor when I was younger. Maybe I got a high IQ. I don't know, but I knew the teachers were liars. I knew the teachers were the enemy. Not like in a sworn adversary, although more modernly, probably yes. But in a Calvin and Hobbes, Calvin didn't like the teacher. The idea that everyone was a teacher's pet, I thought like, oh, we're the students, so we're naturally against the teachers, right? You know, Ogdenville versus Springfield, right? And nope, everyone was on team teacher or something. I'm like, well, are there some risk believing these old hags and everything they say and all that other stuff? And not that I'm a big celebratory guy about Trump getting elected. I'm glad he got elected. I see what's going on. I'm kind of impressed. But more from an analytical perspective, the Trump election and his performance so far, where it's zero fucks given. I mean, you did try to kill him a couple times, and he's old, and this is his last term. Now he don't give a fuck now. He doesn't care. But I think in addition to Trump kind of pulling back the curtain a little bit more than it already has been, I think you Democrats and leftists, some of you got sick and tired of what you were promised never being delivered. I think you got, or some, obviously a lot of you got older, got a little bit wiser, and typical young person doesn't vote Democrat, doesn't have a heart. Guy who's 40, don't vote Republican, don't have a brain. I got an idea. How about we just skip the voting Democrat part? And wouldn't in a world where your two parties would be libertarian versus Republican, how wonderful would that be? Wouldn't that be nice? We all agree on the low taxes, right? All right, now can we have marijuana legalized or not? We all anyway. However you got here, enough people kind of woke up, and it's not that they became Republican. I think it was really they got disenfranchised with the Democrats, with the left. And previous video I did, it was about the lies of where it was disproportionately leftists who told you could do anything you want. If you don't, it's Ronald Reagan's fault. But another group that was definitely lied to about what's the most important thing in your life, and that is love, has been women, especially young women. And we're at the point where I've been told my entire life men aren't needed. That's what I've been told. I don't make that shit up. Go get my book, A World Without Men. I remember it was first or second grade teacher. Well, women don't need men anymore. So what I heard that us versus them, patriarchy, men bad, women good. Men are oppressing women, even though that poor boy just got born 12 years ago and just hit puberty. Like, what are you talking about? My name's Tanner. I just want to ask Susie to the dance. This feminist ideology, feminism has been pushed unchecked on women and men as long as I can remember it, right? Baby boomers. Oh yeah, the feminism go back, what, 1850, Elizabeth Stanton, Susan B. Anthony type. Okay, way back in the day. I'm talking the modern day stuff we got now. This current incarnation, the current model of feminism has been pushed on America for about 40, 50 years. And we're here now at the point we have the internet, we got data, we look at happiness studies, we look at you girls girl bossing, we look at you buying handbags, you had Sex in the City pre-internet, that's kind of around the internet. You got in your Harlequin romance novels, you got your women's studies, you got you got the media, you got it all. And now 50 years later, we can look through the lens of the internet and looking at antidepressant use and happiness surveys and all the complaining on the internet, whether it's theater or not. I think it's been running for 50 years now. We've listened to baby boomer feminism. I ask you, what does it look like now? Right? We're on generation 3 that's dealt with this, the baby boomer. Well, I guess 4 baby boomer feminists, my generation, millennials and Zoomers, right? And we're just going to leave alpha out of this because we're going to let them be kids. We got 4 generation now who've been running on this octane of gas, feminist octane gas. You had the know-it-alls, right? They knew it all. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were talking about. What Gloria Steinem. I guess we could say Nancy Pelosi. You've had what's it called? The prestigious position, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, right? Hillary Clinton didn't get elected, but still feminist leader. Oprah, right? All I want you to do to you young girls, and by young I mean under 30, all right? Because after 30, I'm sorry, ladies, it's too late for you. I mean, you could change and all that if you want to be empirical about. I'm talking about the younger gals because they have yet to waste their lives. Do you see where they've ended up now? Do you see where these know-it-all, your gods, do you see where they've ended up? Do they? And here's my question to you. Forget feminine, but rights and abortion. I know you just loves yourself these abortions. I get it. Do these women look happy? And keep in mind, they're all multimillionaires. They got more money than God, okay? They don't got to worry about anything financial. Do any of these women look happy right now? Did any of them seem to be happy when they were in the positions of power that they were? And then I know this is not this may seem cheap, but it's not cheap. Especially as I'm starting to believe more and more in physiognomy. Do they look like women you want to trust? I mean, come on. Don't they start looking like the evil godmother and whatever Disney fairyland princess kind of movie or show, the evil queen? Or there was a reason they drew them that way. And in other words, you believed they said, this is the path to go down. They talk to you, little girl. Oh, God, what? Starting at 5, probably. This is the way you should go. You got to go down this. This is the path. This is what you should do. And I'm like, okay, let's apply some logic here. They're now at the end of their path, right? I mean, they're still alive, but they're in the last several years of their life, right? They've more or less reached their destination, and they're wealthy women. Do you want to become these women? Is that what you want? In the case of Hillary Clinton, a husband that was cheating on her left and right, but she's rich. Nancy Pelosi, I don't think has ever smiled. The Fruit Loop, she's a Connecticut representative in Congress. This is an old grandma lady dressing like a fucking freshman in college. Is this what you girls really want? And I know this is hard and for the under 30 somethings. Have you ever asked what you really want and been honest with yourself? Or have you been told your entire life by feminists, by teachers, by media, by corporate advertising, by your parents what you should want? Because just me. What was it? Oh, I forgot the data point I was looking at. I forgot the research data point I was looking at. It doesn't matter. Based on research of the women, say 30, 31 and older, my generation and older, those women followed boomer feminist ideology and advice. And I don't see them being very happy. Everyone's still getting divorced that do get married. For those that do get married, marriage is going down. And for those that do get married, the same percentages are ending up divorced. I haven't seen terribly updated data on marriage happiness studies. That's hard to come by. What data I did find for a previous book was somewhat hard to find. But I don't know. I'm looking around. I mean, use your eyes. Do you see the old people, quote, the 31 and up people, male or female? Do you see any happily married couples? And do you really like having to go to school from 5 years old to 24 or 25? Like almost 20 years of schooling because you got to get a master's degree, right? And are all your girlfriends happy? And here's what I want to know. It's just what I want to know. I know. See, there's the public, right? You got to put on your face and look at. I see you do the thing called talk to the hand. Oh, snap! All that in a bag of chips. We're going back in time now with the sayings. But you put on a nice, bold show, and then I hear through my agents in the field of the female variety, oh, yeah, they came back home all drunk and they cried themselves to sleep. Again, it's kind of a weekly thing. Why they cry? I never cried myself to sleep after coming back from a bar. Not once did it happen to me. I went out, whatever jazz club, bar, salsa club, doesn't matter. I never came back home so depressed I cried myself to sleep. And I got a theory, I got a speculation, a hunch, and that is women for the past 4 generations have been told what to like and not allowed to like what they like. And they've been told what to like. Not only what they were told what to like, they were reinforced to make sure that you liked what you were told to like. Because if you didn't, the sisterhood would abandon you. Your frenemies, your best friends, your besties, if you didn't all dress the same way. I mean, shit, I was a guy and I got the shit kicked out of me because I had Velcro shoes back in middle school. So I can't imagine. It's got to be that's guys. I can't imagine what it was like for women. I can't. And it's almost, just hear me out. I know it's going to sound terribly horrific. Women are kind of born like the Borg. Well, I guess all humans could be that way too. But in this particular case, you girls are born like the Borg. You're monolithic. You keep the peace. You won't rock the boat because you need your community. You need your friend. Wait, we're all gonna. Oh no, we're not. Wait, is Becky on? Because if Becky's on board, then I'm on board. Wait. This is like, are we gonna wear blue shoes all on the same day? That's kind of. But it seems to me that you're born as the Borg. And you just need someone to tell you what to do. You just need, this is the right thing. Never mind, it's the Wicked Witch of the fucking West telling you to do this. Never mind, it's a bunch of miserable, pissed off boomer feminists that are telling you to do this. The fact that's the goal, go do it. That's the good thing. This is the thing I should do now. That's what my life should be about? I'd almost be okay with it. Like your life should be about career and education and making money and commuting and paying taxes. I'd be okay with that because that's productive, right? There's the whole, and men are rat bastards and you should hate them and we're warring with them and they're oppressing you. Ironically, where I'm thinking like, but that's where the happiness would come from. I don't know if you notice how men and women, they got different equipment and it fits together like Legos. I don't know if you knew that. And not at nowhere at one point, especially if you got previous generations, like if your parents' generations are brainwashed, or not brainwashed, but just believe, well, that's the old patriarchy, bad man, bad privilege I have. Girl boss, go make money, girl, but master's degree, $100,000, and that don't need no man. In other words, if your entire environment was like, yeah, you don't need no man, and you should be a feminine, and girls are a man, and a lot of that's not wrong. Yeah, girls can be amazing, especially if you major in engineering and support yourself. It's that actually, I'm amazed when I see that. But without any, did anyone ever ask, well, what do you want? Do you want to play with the trucks? Or do you want to play with the dolls? There's no wrong answer, but they say, you're going to play with the trucks too? You're going to become men? You're going to hate men too? Don't ask questions. And so now that the United States is having a little bit of a wakey up poo moment, like, hey, wait a minute. Did you know that if nobody works, there ain't no food and there's inflation? Hey, wait a second. We print off money, there's inflation? Hey, wait a second. That guy over there said hope and change, but nothing's really changed. And I don't know, and this I often ask about younger generations, like, did you not see your brothers and sisters, your older brother and sisters, go through fucking hell, ruining and crippling their finances forever, majoring in dumb shit? Like, do you see what's happening? And do you then conclude monkey see, monkey don't do? Well, okay, they went to college, but I ain't going to college for journalism or poetry or music therapy or whatever worthless. I'm going to go for something more sensible, like accounting or engineering or something like that. Like, when do you wake up and realize your elders, either through malice or naivete, lied to you and gave you the wrong information about what was important in life? And I'm looking at these, and that's what these they are. Not what they look like. They look like, and they are fucking clowns. Boomer feminists, and they're not the happy clowns. They're the sad fucking clowns. With all the money, and that's why I like, one, because they're public figures, you can see them, you know who they are. But really, go look at all the famous boomer feminists, some of which are still alive today. What do they look like? Are they happy? I know they got all more money than God. Are they happy? And I look at the clown show that I used for the thumbnail. There's nothing, dude. And I've seen it happen more. Now she's more of an eccentric, and she has rich parents, a rich dad, or rich husband. Something she didn't work for a living. I can tell you. Go look it. I don't know that for a fact. Go look it up. I guarantee you, she's not an engineer. But don't you think it's a little sad and pathetic? You're dressing like a legitimate clown at the age of 78. You see these old grandma ladies dyeing their hair purple. Are you fucking joking me? What's next? A tattoo? My grandma, rest her soul, she passed away last year. She was a class act, man. She was more of a feminist than any of these goofy clowns were. She worked in investment banking as wasn't an analyst. What did she do? I forgot. Some math involved. But like real job. Back when it wasn't the thing. Back when it wasn't popular. And I mean, I don't know what else. That's the career aspect. But God, she was a class. Think like Sophia Loren level, the way she now she wasn't a drop dead gorgeous woman like Sophia Loren, but she just carried herself, and she was sweet, and she was kind. And then she met my grandpa, who was a widower at that time. And she met this is my step grandma. Technically, my grandma died when I was one. This one came in, and effectively grandma. So I don't get the benefits of that life longevity she had. 97 years old. God bless her. She was happy. And maybe she wasn't filthy rich, but she was taken care of by my grandfather. And she loved the family, and both her family and the family she married into. That she didn't have no tattoos. She wasn't dyeing her hair purple. She wasn't mouthing off about socialist, leftist, feminist politics. Her politics were kind of kept private. No one really cared. Who do you want to become? You want to become like my grandma in the old, or do you want to be one of these sad, fucking pathetic losers who had nothing accomplished in life and got their and are like so desperate at 68 years old, they're getting tattoos and dyeing their hair? Swear to God, I fucking see it. And like I said, arbitrarily, the cutoff point is 30. I mean, if you have a future, if you're not dead, you do have a future you can fight for. So it's never too late. But for you younger gals out there, I think it's time to wake you young girls up and say, hey, these people told 3 generations of women before you that was the way. And now that the sun is setting on their lives and they're at their final train stop, where did the path end up? Where are they now? And I see a bunch of miserable, pissed off Marxist leftists who use vagina as their one and only God and savior. I'm a woman. Good for you. You have the fucking population. And they're miserable. And they look like fucking clowns, which is pathetic, I know. But they look like fucking goofballs, and they are fucking goofballs. And I'm not saying you go the other extreme direction and just become some little mousy teetotaling woman who serves her husband like a slave. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this right now. Are you ready for the truth? You ready for the big truth? The lie they were telling you that you didn't need no man. Yeah, ironically, that's where you will be most happy. The key to success, to being a happy, successful woman in life, is to fall in love with a man and find a man. And to put that person ahead of everything else. Oh my God. Not saying you don't work, not saying you don't have a career, but you actually fall the fucking love and love the person more than yourself, which is what the guy would do in theory. In theory. And you know why these women are miserable? Because they didn't put their men first. They never truly fell in love. They never did. Oh, they might have had kids, but the fuck if they raised boomers, right? Who fucking raises their kids? That's a different story. Boomers of the theory that kids aren't human beings with souls. They just are they're like pets, and you can ship them off to daycare and have randos raise them. That's a different story. But yeah, Al, tell me if I'm wrong. But you know what? The irony is those miserable feminists ended up miserable because they said the happiness was working. And not only were men not the source of happiness and love and sex and all that other stuff, they were your fucking enemy. That they were the bad guys. Are we waking up as a country now? Have we realized 50 years of Democrat lies and socialist horseshit were lies? Do you see how stupid that sounds now? Can you girls give yourself the balls and the permission to actually be independent minded and think differently and say, hey, yeah, you know what, feminism, we do like the equal treatment and all that, but this anti-male girl boss horseshit is fucking not only wrong, but damaging and has ruined 3 generations of women before us. I don't care if you want to double down on it for the 4th time or 4th generation. I mean, it's up to you girls. But I'm starting to look at it. The meat's starting to rot. You know, you start looking like, this is what you grow. This is it, huh? This is where, like, okay, let me show you a little bit of intellectual honesty, a little bragging, I give advice to my audience, disproportionately men, but women could follow the advice as well. It's generally financial advice and minimalism and all that other stuff. If you ever come hang out with me or a day in the life of Cappy, it's not then I go back to my ball busting wife. Oh, yes, dear. And I live off of her. I legit do what I say for you guys to do, because the choices I made led me to where I am now. And so when I say I'm at this train stop, like, okay, maybe I got a couple more stops left before I'm dead, before I get to the last one. But I'm at the train stop where it's like, yeah, we're hiking in the mountains and we're financially stable. And I get to watch Japanese anime if I want. And I get to go to the coffee store, and there's financial stability. We're not wealthy, but there's financial stability. And I drive shitty used cars. Like, people say, oh my God, you actually do drive a piece of shit. Yes, it wasn't bullshit. I'm not trying to sell you something so I don't have to work for a living and go become a fucking senator. So if you ever were to read my books like Bachelor Pad Economics or Worthless or whatever, take some courses I offer through Teachable, in general, it's all about spend less money, major in the right things, don't get somebody pregnant or yourself pregnant when you can't afford it, and don't fuck up. And that the main thing in life is not to have the SUV or the corner office or whatever. It's to have your free time. And if you were to come here and see, you say, hey, Cappy not only practices what he preaches, but he's pretty fucking, I know I'm agitated on the internet because of all the bullshit I see around me. You put me on that fucking hill hiking, you put me on my motorcycle. Yeah, it's a good life. I'm happy. It don't get much better than this. You're not going to see me 78 years old and hate the woman folk, and women are evil, and you need to work more and go to college. I'm like, no, fuck that shit. You should live for yourself and be happy. And girls with big boobs, when you could get them. And here's the great thing for those boomer feminists, it's over, and the legacy they left behind is not a good one. It's one that, as it ages, people will look back and they say they're wrong. Not only they were wrong, they were fucking vile women and they were evil. They were actual misandrists. I don't know, maybe it was popular, maybe it was a very clever way to get, victimhood status and make men pay for shit, whatever. It wasn't good. It didn't help out humanity. It made a lot of people miserable, and a lot of fucking people who could have fallen in love didn't, because they had that fucking poisonous operating system installed in their brain. And I'm hoping with the internet now, and what are we on, the fourth generation of girl boss feminism? And your girls starting to, and I see it. I see in the data, girls are increasingly going into the trades. Girls are also not going to college. They go to college in greater numbers than men, but they're going less overall. I think you women, the irony is you had to listen to your parents and your elders in the media and the experts. But and that's kind of my point. Are you starting to realize now, after 50 years, the experts have been lying to you this entire time? And I don't know. I know it's a cheap shot, but look at how they physically turned out. Look at them. Find me a smiling picture of Nancy Pelosi. I'm sure there's one, but usually, she just does not seem happy. And all I'm asking for you young girls, you're going to have to be more feminist than all the feminists before you. You're going to have to think for yourself. You're actually going to have to become independent minded and not just think what your fucking teachers and professors in the media and all tell you to think. The biggest thing you're going to have to do, the most defiant, truly feminist act, is to acknowledge what you want and say, that's what I want. And if you fucking shame me, you motherfucking tyrants. That's what truly independent. I want the guys. I brought it up before. I think it was Frosty the Snowman, the claymation one, where there was the elf who wanted to become a dentist. Do you guys remember this? This is like back in the 70s. This is when I was a kid. There was an elf. I think they had to go save Santa or something. So it's an elf, and he leaves his dad's like, what do you mean you want to become a dentist? You can't become a dentist. You're an elf. You have to work for Santa. He's like, no, but I want to become a dentist. And he gets ostracized from the fucking elf community. Ladies, young ones who haven't fucked up their life yet. There's nothing wrong if you want to have a man and be a stay-at-home wife. That's perfectly fine. You know why it's fine? Because it's what you want. You can have a life where you can get that, or you can have the life that the feminists are going to tell you to have and shame you into. so you can get along and be popular or whatever. It's up to you. It's not my life that you're fucking up, all right? Just be honest with yourself. And if you girls want to, I want to be a stay-at-home wife. I want the guy to take care of me. I want to raise the kids. That's fine. It's justice is perfect. I want to go be a surgeon and I don't want to get married. I don't like men all that much. That's cool too. But for the love of God, will you be honest with yourself and not let these fucking miserable fucking know-nothings posed as boomer feminists tell you what you are going to do and then end up as miserable as they are? You're going to end up more miserable than them because you ain't got their money. That's the other thing. You ain't got Oprah money. At least she's sitting there like eating her bonbons. Wherever she, at least I can eat the $40 bonbons. Oh, let's go to the super chats. I gotta get out of here. Pringles cans with veins, $2. Just wait, the millennium win would be much worth. Oh God, don't get. I know. You're right. That's all the millennials have is their politics, right? They weren't told anything else. They weren't told about family or good sex or health or adventure. You're right about that, Pringles. Reed Schwartz are $2. They already know what they want, Cappy, more. Well, that's a different, deeper philosophical discussion. If I had to put my money on it, women deep down inside do want men. They want the right man, and they're only going to settle for the right man. That's a different statistical analysis involved. But they do, that is, and I would say what would make them happiest is a man in their life and consequential children if they wanted it. And they raised their children. Not they outsourced it to a nanny or daycare or the state. They raised their children. That is when women generally, not all, are happiness. I opine, I theorize. But whether they want more, you already got 7 pairs of shirts. Akimoto Akira, $2. Somebody kicked the McShit out of these kitchens. A Pringles cans with vein, $5. On a date with 27-year-old pale white chick server. Wait, aren't you black, Pringles? I thought you were. The 40-year-old black girl boss, PhD single mom, started a fight with my date. Wait, what? On a date with a 27-year-old pale white chick server. The 43-year-old black girl boss, PhD single mom, started a fight with my date, stealing all our men. Get the fuck. Oh, okay, so you are black. So what? You're just on a date with some gal, happens to be white, and then how do you know she's a 48-year-old PhD? Did you know this gal came in? Or just saying stereotypically? So you're on it. Let me get this right. Gee, I can't imagine why the brothers are going overseas at the passport. But you are a full-grown adult male with a full-grown adult female who just happens to not be your race. You're on a date. You two voluntarily agreed to be there, and you should be able to get a dinner, right? Uninterrupted. And you got one of the black women come in. One of your sisters comes over and lectures you in front of the stage, stealing all our men. Are you kidding me? Great PR move, lady. I can't imagine why the brothers are going overseas. I just don't get it. I'm pretty sure the 48-year-old single black PhD gal probably rejected you in the past. Boy, Pringles, you can't make it up, man. You just can't make it up. Reed Schwartz are $5. I think people forget we finally have this on film. We will not forget, and future generations will have video evidence. Exactly. I think the internet now is finally, the media was controlled by the left. And I hate to be sounding so simple, but it was. Like, they would only show you what you were allowed to be shown. I don't know why feminists have a hatred for men. They just seem to do. But now we have the internet. I really should have titled this, I Am the Media Now. And we are. Thank God we have the internet. We could compare notes and realize, yeah, thank God the media is collapsing. They didn't do their job. They just lied. And I'm thinking it's stark enough that young women are like, I don't want to become like my mother. I don't want to become this divorced, pissed off, angry, embittered woman who has no savings and no husband to take care of her. Dude, my grandpa took care of my grandma legit. He made sure she was set. That's what a real man would do. Once we start seeing some real women around, we'll do that again. Blue-haired, future generations will have video evidence. Blue-haired grandmas, yikes. Yeah, I know. Dude. Ladies, your time for that shit was 50 years ago. I know they're not gonna knock it off. What else is some unemployable, 62-year-old gal supposed to do? Right. And this is why I focus on the younger women. Like, look, you could fuck up your life pretty bad. Right? You can have it. You can have it all. You have to have the kids first, husbands first, raise the kid, get them out of into school, and then whenever they're when do kids stop burning down houses? Like 13 or 14, around there. And then you can go off. You'll be, depending how early you have kids, you're in your 30s, you go off, become whatever you want. You can have it all. And easily and conveniently so. But it's not, whose problem is if they don't? It's their problem. It's not our problem. It's a them problem. Jenkins, Tree Fitty. Loch Ness Monster. Here's your cut of my first engineering paycheck. No shit. Did you get your first paycheck? Ah, good for you, man. All right. Tree Fitty. That's great, Jenkins. I'm glad you got your first job. That's awesome. And Reen, $2. Nah, Opera got Ozempic. Cappy. Laugh out loud. Body positivity. What's opera? Blue hair grandma. Nah, Opera got Ozempic Cappy. Oprah got Ozempic Cappy. Did she? Oh, I bet you they paid her money. I bet you the drug company that does Ozempic paid her lots of money. Oprah. Why? Okay, come on. Reen, you just made my point for me. Ladies, come on. Look at Oprah. How old is she? 70? And she's doing Ozempic? Why? The time to fall in love with a guy was when she was younger and beautiful and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You're doing 70 and now you're going to lose the weight. It's now? Fuck, what? Man, those women made lots of money off of you younger girls. They all got voted into the Senate and the House and got all those good, sweet stock option deals and insider trading. And Oprah wrote a bunch of books called Be a Fat Dumbass Pig and Fuck Men. Not actually fuck men, but to hell with men. And I know everything. I'm Oprah, 70. How old is she? Hang on. Oprah. She uses weight loss medication. Okay. So how old is Oprah? Age. 71 years. Jesus Christ, 71. All that money. Dude, you could give me $1 million. You'll never fucking see me again. You see me on the trails or on a motorcycle. That's where he is. That's his new home. Out there somewhere on the road or on the trails. And Rebotter, he sends $1 super sticker. Thank you very much. All right, that's it. Cappy's got to go out and enjoy the day. It's 74 degrees in Vegas. That is happiness. That is joy. See you guys later, Toodles.